The recent arrest of ISKCON leader Chinmoy Krishna Prabhu, who also serves as a spokesperson for the Sammilit Sanatan Jagran Jote, has sparked diplomatic tensions between India and Bangladesh. Prabhu was detained at Dhaka's main airport while travelling to Chattogram and has since been denied bail. Meanwhile, India's Ministry of External Affairs, that is the MEA, expressed deep concern over the incident, noting the recurring violence against Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh and criticizing the legal actions against a religious figure advocating peaceful demands. The Sammilit Sanatan Jagran Jote is a coalition advocating for minority rights and protection in Bangladesh. Recently, the group issued an 8-point list of demands aimed at improving security, legal recourse and welfare of minority communities in the country. So this is a breakdown of their key demands. The coalition calls for a tribunal to expedite justice in cases involving violence against minorities with provisions for compensating and rehabilitating victims. Furthermore, a dedicated law is demanded to secure the rights and safety of minority groups, providing legal protection against discrimination and violence. Unlike the Ministry of Religious Affairs, which oversees religious issues broadly, the proposed ministry would address minority communities' specific needs beyond just religious practices. Currently, the government-controlled Hindu Welfare Trust would become a privately managed foundation, similar to trusts demanded for Buddhist and Christian communities. The coalition also seeks amendments to the Vested Property Act to prevent the arbitrary confiscation of Hindu and other minority properties by local authorities, citing the act as historically used to seize assets of minority owners unjustly. The group calls for the provision of multi-faith prayer rooms in schools, colleges and hostels to accommodate religious practices for minority students across Bangladesh. The list of demand also includes expanded funding and resources for the Bangladesh Sanskrit and Pali Education Board that serves traditional Hindu and Buddhist educational institutions. Also, recognizing Durga Puja as a significant Hindu festival, the demand includes an extended public holiday to celebrate the event, underscoring its importance for the Hindu community. Bangladesh has a history of violence and discrimination against its minority communities, with the Hindu population being the largest minority group at 8.95% as of the 2022 census. Despite legal protections on paper, human rights groups argue that minorities lack political recourse and face systematic social exclusion. The constitution establishes Islam as a state religion, but also promises religious freedom, which is a principle reaffirmed by a 2010 Supreme Court ruling emphasizing secularism. The recent arrest of Krishna Prabhu follows a period of political instability in Bangladesh after the August 2024 transition from former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government, during which the country has faced heightened security challenges and worsening law and order issues. Minority rights advocates argue that the lack of political stability has emboldened extremist factions to commit acts of violence and vandalism against minorities. Meanwhile, many minority community leaders argue that Bangladesh's existing legal framework inadequately protects their rights. The Vested Property Act, originally the Enemy Property Act of 1965, is cited as a discriminatory measure that has enabled authorities to confiscate land from minority groups. The law allows the government to seize land from those deemed enemies of the state historically, affecting Hindu communities that migrated during the India-Pakistan conflict. Additionally, institutions like the Hindu Welfare Trust are perceived as tools of the government influence rather than community-led welfare organizations. The Sammilit Sanatan Jagran Jote's demands for more autonomous and inclusive governance structures underscore the broader struggle for minority rights in Bangladesh.